Maybe you're like me and you're running around like crazy just trying to pull it all together. Or maybe you get mad when you're sitting at a traffic light because the traffic just won't move. Whatever it is, how do you find spirit in everyday matters? Well, my guest today, Dianne Eppler Adams, has written Conscious Footsteps, a great book about finding spirit in everyday matters. Welcome to the show, Dianne.
Well, thank you, Michelle. I really enjoy the fact that you are sensitive to all those kinds of struggles that everyday people have.
Well, and that's just the point, because I am sensitive to it, and I think I'm pretty conscious, and, I'll breathe and meditate and be intuitive and all those things, and then something will happen one morning, and I'll be running late, and I'll just be going nuts, and I forget to slow down. What advice do you have for those of us that find ourselves in that situation?
Well, actually, the best advice is to be easy with yourself, that really staying in the moment and trying to be really intensely aware of all the blessings and the opportunities in every moment. Sometimes that's the only thing you can do because, of course, the long-term issues that we all face can be major. But I believe that the only place we ever live is in the moment, and in the moment is where we'll find the solutions. Now, that doesn't mean that I get into struggle and I get into challenge as well. But each day I try to be a little bit more aware of staying in the moment and also aware of really all the blessings around me.
Dianne, I hear this all the time, and staying in the moment and being, in gratitude and the blessing, and how do I plan for the future? What do I do if I'm like so many of Americans right now that business is down instead of up? How do I find the opportunity? How do I say, but I've got to pay the bills tomorrow? We do have to plan for the future. How do you reconcile those two pieces?
Well, the way I reconcile those two pieces is, in fact, that the future is something that actually doesn't arrive unless we are really handling the present moment. So the truth is, we can project and we can imagine and we can set goals, but we walk one step at a time, and that one step at a time is what is really important. That if we're struggling and we're saying, we're seeing negative outcomes, that will create a negative future. So, and the truth is, when we get so far ahead, and I'm one of these who also is constantly visioning what might happen that I could create, but I may be missing that the gift that just appears by a person who offers me an idea or, even some feedback, maybe not even great feedback. It helps me to redirect. So I feel that the future is not a reality unless we're tending to and aware of our own feelings, emotions, actions, and interactions with others right now.
Sounds like a lot of work, to be honest.
No. Well, it really is very much less work, but the staying and paying attention to it does take it takes choice, and it takes retraining, because we weren't taught as kids to stay in the moment. As kids, we were in the moment. We were taught to be responsible, to pay attention, to follow directions, and all of these things that sort of took us away from our natural awareness. And I'm learning, just like everyone else, that I kind of lost that, and I'm trying to get back to it. And
Okay, so give me just like a couple of quick tips of what I can do to help me stay present in the moment and not worrying or planning for the future.
Well, the most effective tip I can tell you is to be aware of your breathing. When you're in the moment, if you can be aware of that breath that you just took, you are now. You're not in the past or in the future. You're now when you're breathing. And in fact, if you're anxious, being aware of slowing down your breathing can actually diminish your stress and your anxiety. So that would be my first thought. The other is look around and really look at the substance, the texture, the smell, the feeling of everything around you. You know, I'm sitting in the same office that I sit in day upon day, but if I put myself in the present moment, I notice things like the cobwebs in the corner, for instance, that need to be taken out. So that's another thing that can bring you into a place of peace.
Like a lot of people, I want to know the benefit, because all this sounds well and good, but why bother? What's the benefit to me about staying in the moment?
This is where joy and peace is found. I mean,
Wow.
I know all about being, in fact, I'm one of these who replays the past, thinking, how could I have made that better, and so forth.
Right.
And, or I'm also one of these that is, oh, if I just got this, then I'd be happy. Or if I just achieved, or if I just, And the benefit is that without expectations or grief or guilt, you really have just what, life is presenting to you. And it's usually much more peaceful than your mind looking forward or backward will present.
The book is called Conscious Footsteps. Give me your website, please, Dianne.
Certainly. It's www.spiritinmatters.com.
Right, and I was there yesterday. You've got all kinds of information for people. The book's available from there. You can link over from my site here over on Amazon, everywhere books are sold. And thank you so much for being a guest on the show today.
My pleasure, Michelle. Thank you so much.